Okay, welcome everyone to the today's webinar. Today we are here with Westlake University, and we are going to be going over the PhD in Electronic Science and Technology. And we are joined today by Dr. Mohamad SAWAN, and he is going to be explaining and going over the PhD program in Electronic Science and Technology. So welcome, Dr. Mohamad.
Hello. Actually, first I say that I am not Dr. Mohamad SAWAN. I'm going to introduce him in just a moment, but also like say good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world. Very happy to introduce our program to you. And also thank you to China Admissions for hosting the event and for setting this up for us. Very, very happy, excited to have you guys here. Now, first, I'm going to briefly introduce myself. Actually, I'm going to introduce basically the agenda for tonight. Then I'm going to introduce Dr. SAWAN, and then later I'm going to jump in. I'm actually from the Office of Academic Affairs. I'm the Senior Manager of International Affairs, and my name is Derek Meyer. As you can see, I've worked in international higher education and international education in different capacities for about 10 years. What's very important here is you can see my contact information, and you'll see it at the end of the presentation as well. So if you have any questions and it's not answered in this event, you just send me an email, or you can also email us at International PhD Admissions. Now, next, I'd like to kind of go over through the agenda. So Westlake University, a global campus. So what do we mean by that, and what exactly is a global campus? Also, the School of Engineering and the PhD program, Electronic Science and Technology. And then this is when I'll jump back in later and I'll introduce our PhD admissions, the deadlines and the requirements, then also scholarships and funding. And at the very end, we'll go over any questions and try to answer any questions that you might have. Now here is Dr. SAWAN. Okay, so he's from the School of Engineering, obviously, and also in the program Electronic Science and Technology. Mohamad SAWAN is a fellow of the Canadian Academy of Engineering, a fellow of the Royal Society of Canada, a fellow of the IEE, and an internationally renowned scientist in the field of smart medical devices. He has made significant contributions in the implantable and wearable medical devices. Professor SAWAN received his PhD in electronic engineering from University of Sherbrooke in 1990. Dr. SAWAN is the chair professor, founder, and principal investigator of the Center of Excellence for Biomedical Research of Advanced Integrated On-Chips Neurotechnologies, CEN Brain Neurotech, here at Westlake University. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. SAWAN.
Okay, thank you so much. My friend, both of you introduced me so far, so thanks a lot. So I'm very happy, of course, to represent somehow or to promote Westlake University as, of course, you can see. So good morning, good evening. Welcome to this webinar and try to clarify actually where we are and what is really Westlake University for a good, of course, PhD program. So we are where? We are in Hangzhou. Hangzhou is around 300 kilometers far from Shanghai. So everyone knows Shanghai. Hangzhou is kind of number 4 metropolitan area in China. Number 4. So talk about the city is 12 million, but the metropolitan area is double, around 22.6 million people. The area is very large. We talk about 34,000 kilometers square. So Westlake University is really fortunate to have the same name than Westlake in Hangzhou. It's a very beautiful lake. You see those images are from this lake, and it's fantastic. Actually, Hangzhou city have a nickname here, what we call paradise on earth. Very beautiful, green everywhere. I think the most green city in the world, in my opinion. I visited some cities, and I am impressed by the city. So, of course, we talk about now the campus. We have 2 campuses. Westlake University have 2 campuses. The first one is maybe old now, around 10 years, was a big institute research, then moved to a university. But the new one, you have the image here, is kind of, as you see, academic ring. This academic ring connect the school together, the engineering, science, and life science school together. And actually, it's kind of innovation, how research is becoming multidisciplinary. And we have, of course, to collaborate with different disciplines, as you can imagine, from science, physics, chemistry, biology, microbiology, and of course, all kinds of engineering. So this is the purpose here. So actually, Westlake University is the first university in China established by through what we call philanthropic support. Means supporter, donors, mainly, and the people are really are willing to really promote science. This is maybe in short, international and internationalizing university. Majority of faculty have experience from everywhere in the planet. Majority means 95, as you can maybe see the number here. And then this university is governed by an independent board of trustees, and including, of course, all people around university, including students and the staff, to make sure everyone really can contribute to this new way of operating the university. So actually, mainly I can say this university is all faculty members are focusing on pushing the frontier on science and applied science, fundamental science, of course. Again, as I just mentioned about the campus, everything is modern around here. And in my also opinion, this campus, the new campus, is the most beautiful, not only in national level, but in Asia, maybe in the world, the way it's connected together, as I just mentioned. Okay, and in terms of global perspective, internationalization, I mentioned about, we have international advisory board. So if you look to this page, you can, I highlight maybe some names just to speed up, but you can see, for example, a couple of Nobel laureate or prize are member of this advisory board. We have many university presidents like Rice University, Yale University. We have members from academicians from different countries, but mainly from Chinese Academy of Engineering. So, etc. I can maybe spend more time, but actually I can mention also both language are used in this university. Of course, everything teaching is English, but in terms of administration, still have, of course, a connection with local, means Chinese language. International faculty, I just mentioned, but means we have access to local and international level of faculty, international collaboration and exchange, international study experience, means student, after maybe a couple of years, he can go abroad for some short time exchange or what we call kind of internship for collaboration, of course, not only for visiting, you know. Then in terms of research, we talk about Future Industry Research Center. The first one approved by the nation is National Source of Innovation Technology. Westlake Lab of Life Science and Biomedicine, many different labs, but just I mentioned a couple which are very original as a national level for, of course, healthcare and life science research. Provincial Key Lab. So Key Lab is, of course, the best, I can say, research group in terms of number. We talk about 30 to more faculty to have a key lab. And I mentioned here, I show 6 different key lab in this university so far. And also, of course, we are not only at the provincial side or city side, we have at the national side. National side, NSFC is known everywhere. C for China. we are very active. We talk about 161 project or funding, and we have 4 major national projects. So in terms of course, the research facility, in those 3 schools, we have 3 schools in Westlake so far. We actually, again, we focus on those 3 schools, and every school we are focusing also in very hot topic. So life science, science, and School of Engineering. We talk about 6 research platforms: biomedical research core facility, animal lab research center, high performance computing, center of micro and nano fabrications, instrumentation and service center for physical science, and service center for molecular science. So this is give you idea. That's the main, of course, topic here. In terms of engineering, I am in School of Engineering. So this is actually, I show here my colleague. We are 10 chair professor. As you know, chair professor means what it means. After full professor, you can have this, I think, promotion to chair professor. This is the maximum. And you can, maybe I highlight, if you look to the electrical engineering EE, you can find many fellow IEEE so far on this School of Engineering. Also, the other are from mechanical engineering, from computer science, doing some engineering, etc. So also all those colleagues, all these 10 names are very strong international level kind of star. Then the school have so far 63 professor, or we call principal investigator, or PI. 55 are on board, and the others are traveling to come. Then we talk about around 400 PhD students with us. We talk about 56 research staff, means the research assistant, around 100 postdoc, and 180 other lab assistant. In terms of course, the 63 faculty members, we have, as I just mentioned, 10 chair professor plus 1 is coming this time, 1 full professor, 10 associate professor, and 38 assistant professor. So of course, the new generation growing up here is to give you idea. Then we are coming from different places. For example, I come from Canada, from Montreal, as you saw, as you heard about my bio earlier. But the colleagues came from everywhere, as you can see, from America, the MIT, Harvard, I think those universities you know about, Stanford, etc. From Europe, different place, Imperial College, for example, from Japan, Tokyo, from Singapore, and so on. Then School of Engineering in 4 years from now, where we are heading, we want to have 1,700 students. Our faculty members, we should go to double, around 120 to 150. Postdoc fellow from 100 to 360. So we are, of course, we have all the needed preparation or logistics to go to those numbers. We talk about, of course, 1,200 graduate students, means mainly PhD, and only 500 undergraduate students, very selective for undergraduate. And then we talk about 240 research, teaching, and administrative staff to handle all this. So in terms of global experience, so teaching, list of courses, many teaching courses or courses we teach are kind of custom-made, something new to deal with the emerging technology. Everything in English in teaching and interdisciplinary cooperation. So again, for example, if we are on biomedical, this is engineering, medicine, biology, then we have access to all those resources from different schools to teach this, to give you idea. Okay, so also we talk about student exchange. I just mentioned about this too, and we talk about lab rotation. For example, new student can visit different lab learn more and to make yourself. Also, on the bottom side, you can see many famous university name to talk about current international agreement. So Westlake University has already signed an agreement with all those universities, and maybe the list is not complete here, for exchange in both directions. So student can go from Westlake there, and from there, student can come to Westlake. Of course, School of Engineering is very rich in academic activity. We organize many things, faculty club to discuss important issue, to think about common project, etc. We talk about, of course, I don't know, every year we have our own international conference, only the school. We talk about, I don't know, first Westlake robot training school, etc., etc. So we have many activities. Students have many activity. Student branch for IEEE exists already here. So we are very active, I think you can see there. In terms of where I am, because the School of Engineering, you will see, is 6 parts. So I will mention those are the 6 part or 6 program. The first one is AI for data and data science. The second is biomedical. The third is chemical and biological engineering. We talk about electrical and information engineering. This is where I am, and I will elaborate. Then sustainable and environment engineering. And the last one is material science and mechanical engineering. So as you can see, we are not really copy and paste from other university. We have our own program, our own school to deal with hot topic at the international level and with the priority, you know. So this is where we are. Then in this program, electrical and information engineering, we are 14 PI. Plus one is now vice president of the university, means associate vice president, sorry, but the 14 PI, these are their name in yellow and their topic. So quantum dot, talk about integrated photonic, integrated circuit, microelectronics, talk about 3D printing, etc., etc. So I will give example later, but this is 14 so far. Then in terms of course, this program, Electronic and Information Engineering, is committed to lead research activity and the following main area. Means this is kind of merging together to make this clear. So first is optic, photonic, and optoelectronic, everything related to optic, you know, to photonic. The second is micro and nano-fabrication technology. The third is microelectronics and telecommunication, and the number 4 is energy, means electronic and energy devices, not only system, is devices too. Some example from the optic and photonic and optoelectronic. For example, here we took some example, flexible integrated photonic. So flexible 3D optic sensing. We talk about advanced lithography for optoelectronic nano chip. We talk about also number 3 here on the bottom side, one colleague is doing photonics integration, design, simulation, integration, and characterization. Then micro and nano fabrication, of course, doing something at the fundamental level, need to work at the nano fabrication level, not only the macro. Photo to enable self-oscillating system, broad range, multi-mode, evolution, and loading capability. So of course, can elaborate, but just to give you idea, we talk about 3D lithography, flexible integrated photonic here on the bottom side, Dr. Lan Lee, optoelectronic device for intelligent applications. So actually we talk about all optical neural network to have something high speed, as you can imagine. In this is microelectronic, means this is chip design, system on chip, lab on chip, everything on chip, and telecommunication, of course, put together to focus a little bit. Advanced nanotechnology for next generation chip, novel functional material for 3D printing, system on chip for deep learning and the prediction intended for healthcare. So, and highly sensitive pressure sensor for wearable health monitoring. So this is, in terms of energy, of course, from battery to many other topic, very hot topic on energy this time, safe and high energy battery and the fuel cell via new electrolyte and electrode, transparent solar cell, and thin film transistor based on solution processed metal oxide semiconductor. Try to improve or find new way to make those transistor. Wearable and implantable brain-machine interface. This is for neuro recording, neurostimulation inside the brain, dealing with the brain disorder or diseases. Working at the neural cell level, single cell, connect single cell together, make what we call brain on chip or organ on chip. This is our priority. So this is actually my my intervention. I am around if you have any question. Thank you so much. I will leave the floor to my colleague.
Great, thank you so much, Dr. SAWAN. Okay, so I'm going to go into the PhD admissions deadlines and the requirements for it. Oh, speaking. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Westlake University, we have two different deadlines for the 2023-2024 admissions for our PhD programs. The first one is quickly approaching. It's November 13th, 2022, and the second round is March 31st, 2023. I'll talk a little bit about the difference. I would say in many ways, there's no huge difference. For example, when it comes to scholarships, which we'll talk about in just a moment, there's no difference in availability of scholarships or maybe being considered for scholarships. I would say maybe the biggest difference is if you apply for the November 13th, you will know by approximately the end of December or maybe beginning of January that you're in the program. And each of the professors that you were in the system, you would actually choose 1 to 3 different PI that you'd like to have be your faculty supervisor. It's possible that within the first round that professor, if it's a professor you really want to work with, it's possible that they've already accepted their students for that year. It probably wouldn't happen, but it's possible. I would say, but there's the 2 different deadlines. Now for the application materials, I'll go through a little bit of it. For the personal statement, this may be a little bit different than other universities that you've applied to. It actually has to be over 1,500 words. And so it doesn't have to be super long beyond that, but approximately 1,500 words. The structure is very similar to other ones. I would say definitely put in the research you've done before, your accomplishments, definitely what you want to do here at Westlake University, the professors you'd like to work with. 2 recommendation letters, all diplomas and degree certificates, all transcripts. Unfortunately, at this moment, we don't accept students who have only come in with a bachelor's degree. So you'd have to also have a master's degree when you're applying, but have your bachelor's and master's transcripts. Evidence of English language proficiency. It's an overall 6.5 for the IELTS or a 90 or above for the TOEFL. Proof of no criminal record in Chinese, you do that later on. And then I'll talk a little bit about the academic writing sample. So it's not compulsory. So if for some reason you didn't want to send any academic writing sample, that's fine. But I'll say this is where you could, if you wanted to, you could have your master's thesis if you want to include that. If you published works in different academic journals, you could have a list of the journals and maybe the first page, which is like the synopsis, the journal that it's in. Or if you have 1 or 2, you might want to actually upload the entire academic writing sample. Like I said, it's not compulsory, but it can only help your chances. Okay, let's go on to the scholarships and funding. Okay, there are 2 different kinds of scholarships. One is a government scholarship and one is a Westlake University fellowship. Now in this, I'll go ahead and just kind of say that we currently have listed 3 different types of government scholarships. There's a Hangzhou municipal scholarship, there's a provincial scholarship, and a national scholarship. In the first year, we would only be the Hangzhou municipal scholarship. But for this, it covers, maybe in future years, we would also be these other ones. That's why they're listed. But for the first year, it'd be the Hangzhou municipal scholarship, and it covers tuition costs, would cover your graduate student fees, and also has a living stipend. But this might be where you might want to consider living on campus, or you can also live off campus. As far as the stipend goes, it will go much farther. If you decide to live on campus, it's quite cheap to live on campus. For the Westlake University fellowships, they are exactly the same amount as the government scholarships. And basically, the way that we've done this is we want our students to focus on their studies and not have to worry about, I mean, we won't be rich with these fellowships and government scholarships, but it's enough to cover your living situation, and you're really supposed to focus on your research, doing the best you can in your program. And so any student who gets accepted into our programs will get one of these 2. So if you didn't get the government, you get the Westlake fellowships, and they have exactly the same amount of funding. And so there's really no difference, just depending on which one you get. Okay, and in addition, there's also teaching assistantships and research assistantships. Now, one thing that's like, I guess it's unique to a program, maybe other universities would have the same type of thing, but actually the first semester you'd come in and you'd already be working in a laboratory. You'd have a position as a research assistantship, but if it's required for at least one semester, it would be a teaching assistantship. So maybe one for 2 semesters should be a teaching assistantship, but probably for the duration of your time in your studies, you would be a research assistantship or a teaching assistantship. And each of these comes with a paid stipend as well. So this is a way of getting some experience, both as being a professor once you graduate, and also getting some experience in a laboratory while also getting a paid stipend for it as well. Okay, so now we're going to open it up to questions and answers, and I'll share the floor with Dr. SAWAN, and I'll open up to China admissions. Let's see here. I guess maybe we can see it here.
Hello, everyone. Okay. Yes, so we have some questions. Okay. So the first question here is, okay, so your PhD program in electronic science and technology is very interdisciplinary. Could you provide some more information about how students can explore their interests in 2 research fields?
Sure, maybe I'll leave that to Dr. SAWAN.
Okay. Okay, good question. Actually, I think when the shortest or the best way is when students apply, have already preliminary information about the topic, then of course, if they're interested on one topic, have to go to web page of university or the school, then locate for example, if we talk about the program where I am here in electrical and information engineering, every PI have his own, of course, list of topic. Every PI have his own, of course, web page with all the project leading. Then, of course, the student can explore all these. Now, if the student still doesn't find the right answer, the contact information of those faculty members, means the PI, the professor, is on the web, and they can send an email. And of course, usually we are really, this is why we are here to explain about Westlake. We are will answer right away to help the student to make the right selection.
Okay, okay. So we have also a question here from our Q&A section. Okay, so they state that they only have an undergraduate degree, and do you offer any long-term PhD program whereby the master's and PhD is combined or not?
Yes, of course. Actually, how to say, student can be accepted to start PhD from BS degree right away. It means bridging without master, if they are, of course, strong and high motivation, or they can come with a master to do PhD. So far, Westlake privilege more the PhD student. And as I just mentioned, we'll have little number of undergraduate and large number of PhD students. So this is what can really I tell you now. So yeah, yes, we can, of course, merge both master and PhD in one, combined together.
Okay, thank you very much. I've heard Westlake University offers international opportunities to PhD students to conduct research abroad, present research at international conferences, or even to study abroad. Could you provide some more information about these international opportunities and experiences?
I'm not sure I catch the question. Can you repeat?
Okay, so I've heard that Westlake University offers some international opportunities for PhD students, like conducting research abroad or presenting research at international conferences, or even possibly studying abroad. Can you provide some more information about these international opportunities?
Yes. You know, PhD degree is international degree. is not Chinese or US or Europe, you know, is international. Means, of course, you have to participate in an international conference. You have to be very active at the international to make sure what you are doing as contribution is international level. Then, of course, it depends of how a student is really very active, can go, as I just mentioned, to an exchange to spend some time outside Westlake University and any country. It depends on himself and their supervisor to select where they want to go for collaboration and spend part. It means short time. It can be few months, of course, because we have to focus, but it can be between 6 and 1 year, 6 months, up to 12 months. It can be exchange outside, yeah.
Okay, great. And how many PhD students will be accepted into this program for the 2023 to 2024 cohort?
Wow, this is very complex question. Yeah, actually, the number is not really, I don't know, fix it on advance, because we have the capacity to accept several, I think, dozen, I can say, but I'm not sure to give the right number. So it means usually education, PhD education in China is very well organized. Means we have a quota. Every PI have some quota, and then with this quota, of course, if it's full, for example, we can borrow from next year. So no problem. Any student interested to join will have a room for him if he's really motivated and of the quality we are looking for.
Okay, great, wonderful. Okay, and if a student receives a scholarship for this program, will they receive this scholarship for the duration of the program? 4 to 5, which is about 4 to 5 years?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Actually, this is a good question, you know. PhD, again, is not number of years, is number of contribution. Means if you are strong, you can finish before 4 years. You can finish in 3 years, why not? Now, if it's topic need a little bit more time, of course, your supervisor will be, of course, happy to extend. But in general, 4 years, no problem. The support is fixed for 4 years. Now, for 5 or more, if happen, of course, the supervisor will be happy to, to continue the same support.
Okay, wonderful. And what kind of funding support is available for conducting research for their dissertation?
Yeah, actually, again, the we call here salary, you know, or financial support for student is kind of very well defined, organized in Westlake University. 3 parts. 1 part comes from supervisor, 1 comes from university to encourage, and the 3rd part comes from government to encourage again. Those 3 parts are for 4 years for the time of the PhD. Now, a student, if he's top quality again, he can apply for scholarship. Every year you have many programs, and he can have much more money. But the minimum is those 3 components I mentioned about, which is equivalent to international level. I cannot say more than, I don't know, such country or such country, but I compare because I was in Canada, is almost the same condition, no big difference.
Okay. And one of the attendees asks, is it possible to apply with an English proficiency certificate from the previous institute that you attended? Or is IELTS or TOEFL necessary? So basically the English certificate from the last institute is a letter from the previous university stating that their course was taught in English.
I can answer this one.
Yeah, maybe Derek can answer this question.
Yeah, I would say basically for the proficiency, if you're obviously native English, native language is English, of course, then if your bachelor's or your master's was conducted completely in English and you have a certificate, you know, saying on your transcripts or possibly even on your diploma, depending on your university, that will also work. So basically, we would waive the IELTS or TOEFL requirements if you have that.
Yes. Okay, and there is another question about the application. And Mohamad Alim asks, I want to apply to more than 1 program. Is that allowed?
I would say, actually, I'm sorry, you can only apply to one program at a time. Would you say that is
Okay.
correct? As far as my information, I think that's correct. I would say, no, I'm sorry, you can only apply to one program.
Okay, yes, that makes sense.
One program only.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. Okay, and then
Yeah, but maybe, sorry, maybe actually, you know, now topic, if you are, you don't know, in EE, your PhD thesis can overlap with physics, with chemistry, with many, talk about multidisciplinarity. This is the main advantage of Westlake University, you know, because Westlake University want really to expert from different science, applied science, medical science to talk together. So the topic are multidisciplinary, kind of mixing degrees, but is only degree anyway, as we said, you know.
okay. Okay, good. Okay. And then one last question. If a student is looking for a certain faculty member that they're interested in contacting to be their supervisor, if this faculty member's name is not listed on the online application system, how can they contact them to be their supervisor?
Okay. So this is also nice question. You know, if the name is not there, because maybe is not listed yet, means is new, I don't know, and take time to show the name, or maybe he's not on the right department, kind of division, you know. So usually if you have the name, you can ask the administration office of School of Engineering, and they can give you the email address or anyway contact information, and the student can, of course, contact him. No problem.
Okay, great.
Our website also has a great feature where it has a faculty website where you can search by name or by the major or by the area. So we can, if you email that, I can send you that, or you can find it on our website as well.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that's all for the questions.
Okay.
There are many online, no?
Let's see, I think I see a few. Let's see here.
Yes, there are a couple of them that overlap with what we just talked about.
Gotcha. Okay, sure. Okay.
Yes.
Done.
Okay, and then there are some questions also about different disciplinaries like economics and agriculture.
Okay, I see.
Okay,
Sure.
So I just want to quickly address that if you are interested in applying to a different type of field, you can also, like Derek said, you can go onto their website and you can search the different types of programs that are there. This webinar is going to be, it is about the specific program, the electronics program. And then, so just keep that in mind. And if you're also interested in searching for certain types of programs, and you also want to search for the Westlake programs, you can go onto China Admissions as well and search them over there under the university, under Westlake University. So maybe that can help for some of the other questions that we're not able to address fully right now.
Yep. And I left this page here as well. So if you have any questions, you can either email directly, or you can go to International PhD Admissions at westlake.edu.cn if you have any further questions. Okay,
so everyone take a look here at all the contact information about how to contact and the email that is there for Derek, and then also for the admissions. And then if
PDF available, if we wanted to send this out later, we can send it out to students. We can make a PDF and send to you.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. Thank you all very much for joining today's webinar. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Derek and Dr. Mohamad?
It's been a pleasure. And yeah, just if you have any questions, just contact us, or yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Please make sure to take note of everything, and also note that today's webinar is also going to be on the China Admissions YouTube channel. So if you wish to look at any information over again or rewatch any of this, you'll be able to do it over there. Okay,
Okay.
thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Good night. Good day.
Bye-bye. Okay.